This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, no matter how I look at it. This is the story of how my marriage ended in less than 4 months, when I was only 22 years old. I first met her when I was 15 and she was 24. Nothing wrong happened between us back then. She was the older sister of one of my friends, and I had a huge crush on her. You know how it is when you're young and you meet someone you think is beautiful and cool, so you think they're amazing without really knowing them? Yeah, that's what got me into trouble. We stayed in touch over the years, even after her brother and I stopped being friends. She would message me sometimes. Say, happy holidays. Simple things like that. When I turned 18, I had just broken up with someone because I found out I was the other guy in her relationship. I was really upset about it. I also wasn't taking medicine I needed, so I was doing risky things. One night, when I was drunk, I got brave and sent her a really embarrassing message asking if she wanted to hook up. I was surprised when she told me to come over. I got to her house around 4 in the morning, and I was starting to sober up. Instead of hooking up, she made me sit on her couch and ask me a bunch of questions about relationships, like she was questioning me for a crime. She asked things like, "Why did your last relationships end? And are you a loyal person?" I guess I gave good answers, because we did end up hooking up, but she told me not to leave in the morning. I was totally in love with her, and we spent every minute together after that. On the second day, I found out she had a boyfriend. I talked to her about it, because we had even talked during her questions about how hurt I was when I didn't know I was the other guy in my last relationship. After we talked, she deleted her boyfriend from all her social media. She told me she broke up with him for me. I wouldn't have believed her if all her friends weren't telling me I should date her. They said she loved me and I'd be stupid not to date her. So I did. We became a couple. This is where things get crazy and dumb. 2 weeks later, we were drunk and having deep talks. I jokingly asked her to marry me. I was shocked when she took it seriously. She said yes. That's when my messed up brain thought, you've always wanted a wife. Here's your chance to be with someone you've wanted for years. So we got married that night. I moved in with her. We were always together. We only spent time apart when I was working and my shifts weren't long. I often work from home too. I told her more about myself than I've ever told anyone else. I just jumped right in and shared everything. I wanted our marriage to work and have a real partnership. I was always there for her. We had amazing sex all the time. I comforted her about all the bad things that happened to her in the past. I came running whenever she needed me. I even stopped being friends with all my female friends, which was almost all my friends, because I'm a very friendly person who often seems flirty. She told me if I accidentally flirted with someone, she would leave me. I was trying to be completely committed to her. 2 months into our marriage. Yes, just 2 months. She started acting distant and not answering her phone. She didn't want to be around me all the time anymore. She would disappear a lot and come home very late. I knew something was wrong, so I asked her about it. I told her she could tell me anything. She even knew from our earlier talks that I'm not a jealous person, that I'd be okay with an open relationship, but she didn't want that. She started lying to me and making me doubt myself. That's called gaslighting, by saying everything was fine. She said she loved me more than anyone and didn't know why I would think anything was wrong. I knew something wasn't right. Within a week, 2 guys I didn't know contacted me saying they wanted to talk to me. I already had a feeling what it was about. I met them at a coffee shop nearby with a girl who was friends with my wife. They told me so many bad things. My wife had been dating them behind my back. They didn't know she was married until she introduced them to her friends and expected them to keep quiet. But one friend told them because she thought I deserved better. They showed me dirty text messages, naked pictures they had shared, and at least one of them had been seeing her since we got married and they had been having sex. She was saying bad things about me to them, telling them I was ignoring her and not paying attention to her. But she was the one not answering my messages and not talking to me for the past week, and before that we had been so close. On top of that, her friend told me that the relationship she had before me didn't end when she said it did. Her previous boyfriend left her when he found out she was suddenly married to me. He didn't even know I existed. His girlfriend had just gotten married to someone else out of nowhere, and she started dating another guy right after that. They asked me if I was going to stay with her, and I told them they could have her. One of them was kind of angry and said, "Wow, you're giving up that easy? Why would I stay?" I talked to her when I got home. I even gave her one last chance to tell me the truth. She told me I was crazy and she didn't know why I wouldn't trust her. I showed her all the proof I had. She acted like she was confused and didn't know what any of it was. So I packed my things and left. I filed for divorce right away. The next day after I moved out, she was posting pictures with another guy I had never seen before. She was in a relationship with him now. Less than 12 hours after her husband left her. Most of her friends still liked me and would check on me. They told me this was something she did a lot, without the marriage part, and every single little thing she told me was a lie. I was married to someone I didn't even know at all. And all I got from being with her was a sexually transmitted disease. She might be the worst person I've ever met. If you're wondering, yes. She did try to message me again later,